Hello and welcome to BeamNG.drive. Today I'm taking a look at the Snowtrax map. This map offers 6 tracks, 5 of which are made, in my opinion, to be played against other people. So this is a multiplayer-oriented map. The first one is the off-road track I'm driving on, and it is very wide. As you can see, this track is very wide. It doesn't have barriers or many obstacles on the sides, which is even better, sorry. And the surface is, of all the map, it's a bit more slippery compared to normal dirt, but not as much as ice. So you still slide around a little bit, and you will bump into other cars, obviously. But you have to keep in mind that, for example, in some corners you will overshoot the braking zone. So keep that in mind, that you will slide a lot more. Also, this map, even if it's pretty big, it doesn't, I don't know how, if it's intentional or not, the cars don't kick up dust. As you can see, no dust. And that's a factor that helps lower-end PCs. And also this track, look at the elevation, it really surprised me. I really like this section of the track. Look at how high we are. Also this part can be difficult in braking zones, like here I will start to brake here because I will slide a lot, so I don't want to hit myself off the track into the trees. That's nice. Now here I don't see the brake. Okay, and now I'm late on the brakes. Nice. Induction system damage. That's not good. Let's get back on the track, please. Thank you, Passio. And overall, I think this track, it's simple, but it's pretty good. I really like it. If there were more cars around, it would be nice. I don't think it's mapped for the AI vehicles, so at least for now. If you can play around with coding and the AI path generator in the word editor, maybe you can do it yourself. Anyway, this was a lap of the off-road track. A solid race track, in my opinion. Not too short, but not too long as well. And I think that's pretty good. The second track is a figure of 8 with a twist. It has ice in the crossover, so if you want to avoid a car incoming, it will be impossible. Also, I really like that it's somewhat parabolic, so it's safer and easier. As I'm approaching the intersection, you will see ice. I have almost zero control of the car on ice, and that's nice. That was surprisingly unexpected, because of course in figure of 8s, especially in BeamNG, you see a car coming and you start braking. And in this, it's a lot more difficult to do that, because of the ice, of course. You have to brake a lot early, or you just go and hope for the best. And I think that's an interesting view of a figure of 8, of a simple concept. And I like it, I really like it. But so far my favorite is the off-road track. Next is the head-to-head track. Now, this is unusual for few reasons. The first is that, okay, there is a jump. Let me align properly. Okay, that's nice. The first thing is that in my mind, a head-to-head circuit. In a head-to-head circuit, you should be able to see your opponent most of the time. Now here it doesn't happen because I'm really far away compared to the other side of the track, and I don't see the opponent. I can have glimpses here and there, or maybe at the intersections, but that's not the best in my opinion. You should be able to see your opponent most of the time, but maybe that's just me. Okay, now here there is a second jump, okay, indicated by the flags, but it's tricky because there is a tight corner right behind, and since the snowy dirt is slippery, you most of the time overshoot the landing, the braking zone, sorry. And now I am approaching the end of the lap, and you will see another thing that in my mind it's not ideal, and the fact that I'm on the left side, but I started on the right. So that's weird to me. But anyway, and also there are substantial differences from one side to the other. So for a proper race, a player has to do both the sides, which in my mind, again, it doesn't work like that, but this does, so we will do it. Like, for example, the right, if you start on the right, you will have 2 jumps. If you start on the left, you will have only one, which is this one. The left one, the one that I'm doing right now, it's more technical, it's slower, it has more corners, while the right one is faster, it has more longer straights. So they are different, that's why you need to do both, because the time, in my opinion, doesn't add up if you only do one. You can do it, but it may be there is one side that is faster than the other. But anyway, this is the full lap of the 2 sides of the head-to-head track, which is decent. Maybe the barriers are a bit too narrow in places, but overall it is a good challenge. Now it's time for an unusual track, and it's called Race Till Destruction. Now, if you play BeamNG, you must know the series Race Till Destruction from Fail Race. They are pretty entertaining. It is a while since he has done a full series, but they are nice. I really like them. And this track is an homage to those series because it is kind of destructive. Like here, for example, oof, I was a bit too fast. Now here I will brake a bit because I want to do a full lap with a strong car, with an intact car, sorry. But as you can see, it has fast sections. There are some jumps here and there, but it is not as destroying as older Race Till Destruction tracks. It is, however, a decent track if you want to do multiplayer racing. In my opinion, it can suit those races as well. But here, for example, you have some obstacles. I don't know what are those, but these are rocks. So a proper lifted car is advised for these obstacles. Oil pan damage on the corner, nice. But as you can see, it's not as destructive as proper Race Till Destruction track. It is pretty fun, however. If you have off-road, like for example the Romer or the truck, the D-Series or other vehicles with high ground clearance, you can have a lot of fun on this track. And even with a Wendover rally, I'm still doing pretty fine. Of course, I didn't do the 2 jumps with speed, now I'm going to do them. But this track is good. It was a pleasant surprise. Okay, now let's head to the first jump. Big airtime incoming, nice. And now full speed. As you can see, this is big airtime and destructive landing. Of course, I already had a damaged vehicle, but it is pretty heavy. But apart from those 2 jumps and the 2 rock sections, this is you can barely tell that is a Drive Till Destruction video, but at least it's still a pretty fun track. So grab your lifted vehicles and do a race on this track. This is the Luge track, which is just an icy death descending, and I'm not sure if this is suitable for multiplayer, like the first who can reach the bottom or who can go fast, who can go farther with an intact car. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's debatable. I think it can be multiplayer oriented as well. But oh no, I fall off. Okay, no, that's the right road, I think, maybe, or there was an intersection. Ah, yeah, there are 2 paths, but I'm not sure about the quality of this descent because of this reason. Like, yeah, this is perfect now. there, I think it's the finish. Here, highlighted with the mouse. But considering that I was rolling down a mountain on ice, and I still managed to get stuck on said ice, and it isn't flat. I should be able to roll down. It's not the best. Now I can still put down some power so I can move down, but steering is completely destroyed, so I can't choose where to go. And now, okay, let's go. Some gas, please. Okay, not the best. I'm still moving at least. But in my mind, again, just like the head-to-head track, it has some issues. Like, I shouldn't be able to get stuck on ice, especially if it has an incline angle. And yeah, the flags are the finish line. Okay, I can push myself towards them. Nice. Okay, that's the finish line. But I don't think this ice is that much slidey. I'm not completely sold on this Luge track. In my mind, I shouldn't get stuck in the track. I can fall off, okay, that's good, but I shouldn't be able to get stuck inside of the track. But anyway, I don't think this is properly multiplayer oriented. But I still think you can chuck few cars downhill and still have somewhat of a competition. And at last, the full single player experience for this map, which is an off-road trail. Now, it isn't a particularly difficult trail, because I was able to complete it. Okay, really hopper, I already busted the steering. Man, I hope for a fix to this weak steering when they will remaster the hopper. Now, let's reset the vehicle because I want good steering. But apart from few sections that require a second of critical thinking, all the other parts with the rocks are somewhat manageable, decently enough, decently easy, let's say. There are some logs, you can, like here for example, go around it for the most. If you want the complete experience, you will try to stay on the trail most of the time, like I'm doing right now. And if you saw the MD scenarios, that the rock climbing one, you will know that I'm terrible at rock climbing because I don't like it. I don't understand why people like it, but it is in the game. I will try it anyway. And as you can see, these are not so difficult obstacles to overcome. Now, this is a pretty beefy hopper, I must say, but if you choose the right vehicle, you will have no problems. Like, for example, I tried with the Roamer Adventure and the Offroad, yes, the Offroad and the Adventure. They were not good. You will need a proper vehicle, but once you find it, it is a piece of cake almost. And remember who says it, because if I say it's a piece of cake, you probably all can do it. And that's nice, because I don't want to struggle to finish a trail. I want to have fun. Of course, some difficulties are necessary, but I don't want it to be impossible. So here, for example, you just push the gas. You can see that's pretty easy. There is that rock conveniently placed to help to not flip on the side. Oh, okay. Now this, maybe that push bar on the front is not my friend in this situation, but as you can see, now I'm okay. Why I can't do it anymore? Please, hopper. Okay, hopper. Let's go. Wow. Okay, let me put the low gears. Okay, traction please. Oh! Okay, that's nice. A bit of faffling around and we managed to pass through it. Okay. Now, that's not intentional. Now, this probably is one of the trickiest section because it is somewhat steep. If you have a tall car, like almost all the vehicles for this mode are, you risk the flipping. Now here I'm stuck. I can't grip. Okay. Okay, nice. I just landed on the taller rock and that was enough to have some grip, which is awesome. But that point there, it's easy to flip. Now here, I'm doing my line because I lost control by sliding down. But you can see that it is doable. It has a bit of challenge, but it isn't impossible, which in my opinion it's the best. Somewhat challenging, but doable. So now here I think I have steering damage. Yes, because I'm not touching the steering and it's full lock on the left, so reset the car, because otherwise I can't finish this. Okay, now here... Okay, nice. I just need the tires to grip on the rocks and that's easy. Okay, now here... Okay, there are conveniently step-shaped rocks on the side. Let's go slow. I don't want to fall off and flip. Nice. Now, I suggest you not to use the hopper because it has weak steering and I already had to reset my vehicle twice because I hit rocks and damaged the steering, and I think it's damaged once again. So, the difficult part for this track, for this trail, is finding the right car. Now, here, a piece of cake. The tree also did help me to not flip because I heard I slightly touched it. Okay, now here, okay, I'm wrong way, but I don't care. Let's go in reverse down until I find a good spot to go back on the right direction. Nice. As you can see, I'm not struggling too much. I'm able to speak and say something with sense, ouch, and also not destroying my car at the same time. The damage probably it's caused by my incompetence in this kind of... Okay, this is not my fault. What? I mean, this is not my fault. The front axle completely destroyed itself on a small rock. So, I suggest you not to choose the hopper. Okay, nice control. If you find a better vehicle, probably just the D series, it's good. Okay, now this is a bit tricky, but with some patience and a second of thinking, I can find the right path. Nice. Okay, now this log is taller than I expected at first, because I completely slammed into it and destroyed the steering once again. I should be at the end of the trail. Nice. Small rock. Wait, isn't this the end? Ah! No, I flipped. You didn't see that? What is this car doing? Why? Okay, maybe I can unflip myself. Let's see. No. Okay. Let's do it with the node grabber then. Nice. Imagine that was a winch, like in SnowRunner. I'm using excuses because I'm bad. But I think that after that rock there should be the end. Sorry, that log. But I'm confused. Huh. Let's keep going. But I think the end should be near. Okay. Yeah, okay. I confused the logs and I flipped once again. Please stop rolling. Okay, this is the final log. I will pass on it. Nice. And the end is here for the trail, which is decently long. It has a decent challenge. It is, as you can see, all this part here. But if you want to explore this map, you can see it's mostly flat. with trees mainly around the 6 tracks. So you can even have chases on these mountains if you want, on these lands, on these flat lands, if you are interested. But overall, I think this map is pretty good, especially for multiplayer. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.